Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. From time to time, you're going to see a shift in the natural style and the adapted style on the disc graph. What you can see here on the natural style is a blended style, where the D and the I style is both above the line, and the S and the C style is below the line. And that's quite common, and you'll see that on a regular basis. What you won't see on a regular basis is the adapted style moving to a pure style. A pure style is when one of the disc styles, D, I, S or C, is above the power line and everything else is below it. So what you're seeing here on the left-hand side is a very high D style with a low I, S and C. And this is only about 2% of the population's disc averages. So this is a very unique disc graph, and I want to help you understand it, and I'm going to give you my interpretation. What we can see here is that the individual is operating outside of their comfort zone. Their comfort zone is typically the ID style with the low S and low C. Moving outside of that comfort zone and adapting for success, as we move over to the adapted style, we can see that the I, the S and the C drops right down below the power line, and that D style shoots all the way up to the top. So this person is operating outside of their comfort zone, and they're going from a blended style to a pure style, which is only 2% of the population. So let's make sense of this. If you look at the natural style graph on the right-hand side, the D style goes up by 14 points when you look across to the left and see the adapted style. We know that the individual is going to be putting a lot more energy into dominance. We can see on the right-hand side, the I style is at 77, but it drops down significantly, all the way down to 38. That's a 39-point adaptation. Any adaptation over 10 points, we start to question it. Anything over 20 or 30 points, we know that it's going to consume a lot of the individual's energy trying to suppress that I style. This could be a very confusing time for the individual. It could be a very stressful time. And they may think by suppressing or repressing some of that energy, they could be getting better results, which we call an adaptation for success. Now, if it's not an adaptation for success, it could be areas of stress, tension, and even fatigue. As we look at the natural style on the right-hand side, we can see that the S style is 34 points, and again, it drops down by 11 points. On the left-hand side, we can see the natural C style on the right-hand side compared to the adapted style goes up by 11 points. So we can see here between the natural and the adapted style is there's a lot of variation. The energy is shifting all around, and it will absolutely create stress and tension for the individual. Remember, the style on the left, it's a pure style. It's only 2% of the population. So as we take a bigger picture view, as we step back out to 30,000 feet, and we have a look at this adapted style, what's happening here with the shift of the D style going up and the C style having more energy in there, this person's going to be more open to taking greater risks and also following the rules at the same time. There's also a slight pace conflict here, meaning that the higher the D score goes up towards 100, the faster the person's going to move. Yet when we look at the C style, the more energy that's put into the C style, the closer it gets up to the midline or going beyond the midline, the slower the style becomes. So they're moving very fast towards risk, and they're also slowing down and having a look at the rules, maybe even being a little bit more compliant. We can see here that that I style drops by 39 points. We can see that S style drops by 11 points. So there's a 50-point variation there in the I and the S style. All of that energy is getting drained out of the I style, and less is also being put in to the S style. Our interpretation here is that the individual is going to become less trusting of people. and they're going to put more trust in data. Now, it's also a pace conflict because the high I moves fast and the low I moves slowly. So instead of moving fast towards people and contacts, they're slowing right down. They're becoming less trusting. In addition, the higher the S style, the slower the pace. The lower the S style, the faster the pace. So they're going to be less trusting of people, but they're going to move into relationships faster. And this could lead to some major mistakes. Now, as we unpack this further, let's have a look. Remember, the D style is going up by 14 points. More energy is being put into results. The I style is dropping down by 39 points. They're putting less energy into people. The S style is dropping down 11 points, and they're putting less energy into relationships. The C style is going up by 11 points, and what they're doing is they're putting more energy into getting things right. So these are the behaviours that we would see if we were working next to this person. Now, the interesting thing is they're putting a lot more energy into goals and tasks. You'll understand people put more energy into goals and tasks when the D style goes up and when the C style goes up. And both of that is happening on the adapted style. So this person's going to put a lot of energy into achieving their goals and to completing their tasks. Simultaneously, which is also an inner conflict, and we'll talk about conflicts in a moment, they're putting less energy into people and relationships. So their energy is going in the direction of achieving goals and tasks, and they're putting less energy into people and relationships. And what we'd want to do as leaders is figure out what they're attempting to do. Now, this could create what's called a me-me conflict. You can see here their natural style is a high I, and it's got a very active D style. So they're going to have a priority when it comes to people and contacts. Yet that adapted style, that I style, drops all the way down by 39 points. And now they're putting little to no energy into people and contacts. One day they're going to be Dr. Jekyll, and then the other day they're going to be Mr. Hyde. One day there's going to be an angel on the shoulder focusing all on the people, and then the next day the devil comes out. They don't care about the people and they only want results. Now, this could also create other conflicts between other people. We call this a me-you conflict, where naturally when I meet you and you're in your comfort zone, you're all for people. Yet I see you at work and you've got your work face on and you're all about results and you don't care about the people. That could create a me-you conflict. It could also create a me-role conflict. Now, the background of this person is they're working heavily with people. So when they're in their comfort zone, they're going to put people first. But secondly, when they adapt, they're going to put no attention and very little energy into people. And that's going to be a me-role conflict because this person actually needs to be heavily focused on people. So we can start to see that some of these conflicts are going to appear. So let's summarize this. The high D, what do they want? The pure D style, they want control, they want power, they want authority. And they may be adapting for survival to make sure that they get these results in business. We can see that this person is operating outside of their comfort zone. We can see that there's more energy going into dominance, less energy going to influence, less energy going into steadying the pace, and more energy going into compliance. We understand with the adapted style, they're going to take bigger risks, but they're going to pay a little bit more attention to the details. Simultaneously, they're going to be less trusting of people and they're going to put more trust in data. So these are some of the takeaways for when you see a report that looks like this in the future. Should you have any questions, maybe you see something of your report. Maybe your report looks a little bit similar to this and you want to have a bit of a deeper insight on your report, reach out to me personally and I'll help you understand it. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day.